Throughout my life, I found comfort in knowing that individual pieces make up a greater whole. This is something that can be found everywhere and is experienced each day. Complex systems function as many parts contribute simultaneously to that system. A wave's existence is dependent on the movement of water, which is caused by a number of variables. A storm is made up of a multitude of components that take place at once. A family exists from a number of separate relations, experiences, and emotions. And all of these individual pieces are reshaped as they fall in and out of bigger systems. We too are an example of this. From the individual to the collective level, we are constantly taking part in the structures that make up our lives, and consequently impacting each other. I use repetitive processes throughout my work in order to understand these connections, as well as how individually we fall in and out of these structures. Repetition is something that gains value over time, as it creates trust and a sense of permanence. It's a process that provides stability within relationships. By creating something from this process that is so relevant to the connections within my life, the work itself becomes a fundamental piece in providing reassurance and stability. Each stitch contributes to the entirety of every structure, but like murmuration amongst birds, as quickly as structure can come together, it can just as easily disperse. Impermanence is another important factor in our daily lives. Understanding how a fleeting moment can impact something so deeply, or how our memories are always susceptible to change, both play into our perception of time. This perception is fluid and can quickly become incoherent. Because our pasts are constantly being reshaped through our current intake of the world, there is no moment in time that exists separate or remains unaffected by one another. This emphasizes a point that we are constantly impacting each other, including our future selves. Because of this, connection is inevitable and everywhere. I often use parallels from space as a way of translating experiences through the work I make. I see myself as a form of interstellar space and my relationships as stars. I think there's something so beautiful about how if you removed all the stars in a galaxy, what you're left with is the space between. The space that is impacted by each star and contains traces of them all. It contains the remains of stars that die and becomes the place where new ones grow. This means that each star forms from that pre-existing matter, which goes hand in hand with the formation of our relationships. Because traces of people we've known exist within us, no new relationship that forms can remain unaffected from all the others that have existed. That interstellar medium is what's between all these relations, a space within that's filled with distance and love and loneliness all together. To me, making art is a way of coming to terms with that space in between, a way of accepting how independent our experiences are in the world, but how connected we still manage to be. This emphasizes the importance of not only making, but sharing the work we have. How we perceive based on individual experience, and the way that influences what resonates differently to every single person, is what makes the work itself grow. Our ability to create versions of how we experience from each unique perspective is a means for creating connections. My work is something that is constantly changing along with its environment. It's something that loses and regains meaning, ages similar to how we do. Something I can feel fully connected to, but then distant from as well. Understanding myself in relation to, and because of that work, is an ever-changing thing that keeps me making.